Hello everybody, welcome back. Today's class, we've got a pretty short hip and spine circuit. So we'll get into a few different positions. We'll do it mostly from the ground, and either tall kneeling or a quadruped position today. We'll start down on the ground. We'll start with our thoracic spine calves. So what I'd like you to do, take your hand crisscross position. You can do this tall kneeling. You can do this from this position where I'm in here on your shins, or you can do it standing as well. From here, we'll take a breath in. Tuck your chin to your chest, rotate to the left, side bend, and in that side bend, extend, rotate all the way to the other side bend, round forward, and continue the same direction. Rotate, side bend, extend, rotate, side bend, flex. Do one more in this direction. I'm trying to make the movement just from the spine here. Try to keep those hips nice and stable as best as you can. And reverse your circle. Trying to make each rep better than the last. As much side bend as you can, as much rotation. One more in this direction. Alright. Now we'll come do some spinal segmentation. So we'll come into a quadruped position or tabletop. From here we'll start in extension today. That means lifting your bum up towards the sky, pulling your chest forward with the hands here. And then we'll start with the tail. Slowly begin to tuck your tail under. And really nice and slowly rounding through the lower spine. Up into the thoracic spine. Upper thoracic. Chin is the last to tuck. When you get into this fully flexed position, reverse, start with the tail again, and then slowly coming back into extension, piece by piece. We'll do 2 rounds in total. Nice and slow and controlled. Take your time. Now back in full extension and start with the tail again. Under. Nice and slowly rolling. Spine. Nice. Once more, come back into extension. Last time here. Of course, you can pause the video and repeat and do these many times as you like. Nice. All right, now we'll do some hip cars. So we'll come to a sideline position. First thing with the arms, just to create some tension in the body. The bottom hand, I like it, the fist, top hand grabs onto. You push and pull. You can find any other method for creating some tension. You can grab on the tennis ball or anything else really here. So we start with both legs nice and straight. I've got my left leg on top here. So from there, take a breath in. Get some tension throughout your body. And bring that top knee, the left knee in towards your chest. High as you can. Then take it as wide as you can. And from there, internally rotate the hip. So the ankle comes up towards the sky. Bring it back down. Stack the knees on top of each other. Kick back again. Try not to extend through the low back. Take it wide. And then try to externally rotate as you bring that knee in towards your chest. Back down. And repeat. We'll do 2 on this side. In towards the chest. Take it wide. Internally rotate as you kick back, and stack, kick back again, take it wide and externally rotate, keep the knee going away from you, in towards the shoulder, back down. Switch sides. Nice breath in. Hold that brace, tension throughout the body. Bring that knee in towards the chest. And take it wide. Internally rotate the hip as you kick back behind you. Knees stack. Extend, kick back. And take it wide away from you as you externally rotate. Bring it in towards the shoulder and back down. Nice, that's one more. In towards the chest. Wide. Internally rotate as you kick back. Knees stack. Extend. Get it wide away from you as you externally rotate and in towards the shoulder and back down. Nice. We'll go back over to the other side. And now we'll do the same thing. So it's still hip cars, but we'll do it with a straight leg this time. If these are too challenging for you, you can go back to the previous one. But yeah, give it a crack. So from here, the same tension option with the arms here. From there, the top leg lifts up and stays straight. Draw it in towards those hands. Lift it up as far away from you as you can. When you can't lift up anymore, and try to internally rotate the hip. As you kick back behind you and keep trying to rotate, you come back down, the legs will stack on top of each other. From there, extend, kick back, take it wide and externally rotate. Keep it lifting up, forward towards those hands, and back down to meet the other leg. We'll do two again on this side, so that was one more. Draw that straight leg towards the hands, take it wide, and then internally rotate. Let's kick back, legs stack, extend back again, take it wide, externally rotate, reaching up towards your head, towards the hands, and back down. Right, smooth transition to the other side. Nice. Again, tension throughout the body here. Top leg lifts up. Draw it in towards the hands. Take it wide. Internally rotate. Almost got mixed up there. Kick it back. Legs stack. Extend back again. Take it wide. Externally rotate up towards the shoulder. Forward towards the hands. And back down. One more. Make this the best one so far. Draw it into flexion. Abduction. Internally rotate as you kick back behind you. Now the legs stack. Extend, kick back. Take it wide. And then externally rotate towards the shoulder. Up towards those hands. And back down. All right, let's shake it out. Whatever you need to do. From here, we'll come into another quadruped position. And we'll work on anterior and posterior tilt of the pelvis. So come to tabletop. Now this is my neutral position here with my spine and pelvis. So we're just going to try to keep the spine, fairly neutral, whatever that means to you. We're just going to try and work just the pelvis here. So to give you an anterior tilt of the pelvis, that means lifting your bum up towards the sky. Posterior tilt, tucking the tail under. You try and keep the rest of the spine not to move, just keep it however it is, nice and comfortable, and just moving the pelvis. So we'll just go through a few rounds of this. Anterior tilt, lifting your tail up towards the sky, and posterior tilt. For our next drill that we'll be doing, we really focus on that posterior tilt to really get a good feel, and get a good feel for both of these actions. Just understand that'll be our primary focus for our next one. Lifting the tail up, that's anterior tilt. Tucking the tail under, posterior tilt. When you do that strong posterior tilt, you should feel your a little bit of core working as well. One of your abdominals. We'll do 3 more each way. One more. And we'll finish with posterior tucking the tail under. Okay, so now we're going to come into our backs, and we're going to do like a bridge segmentation, really focusing on that posterior tilt of the pelvis. So for here, just move my arms out of the way so you can see. We're going to set ourselves up like we're doing bridge pose. So feet about hips width apart, feet fairly close in towards your heels, a little bit of distance there. So we want to start in that anterior tilt. That means try to press your tailbone down into the ground. And you can see we've got that space between the mat and your low back here. So you want to close that space by tucking that tail under, which is what we were just working on, tucking the tail under, low back presses down into the ground. Now maintain that tuck the entire time, a really strong tuck of the tail as you begin to press up into your bridge. But maintaining a nice, really strong tuck of the tail, squeezing your hamstrings, squeezing your glutes, and your bridge should be quite a bit lower than it would usually be if you weren't maintaining that posterior tilt of the pelvis. When you get to your top here, maintain that tilt, so maintain that strong posterior tilt, and slowly roll the spine back down onto the mats. Nice and controlled all the way down. Once you get the whole spine back down on the ground, you can go back into that anterior tilt for a second, and then repeat. Tuck the tail under, maintain that tilt, squeeze hamstrings, squeeze glutes, drive the heels down to the ground. As you maintain that tilt, get to your maximum here, and hold that as you slowly try to roll the upper spine, the mid spine, lumbar spine, all the way down to the ground. We'll do 3 more. Anterior tilts. If you're not at the same pace as me, that's fine. Just go at your own pace, whatever suits you, but nice and slow and controlled. That's it. Really focus on maintaining that posterior tilt the whole time as you come up. Maintaining that tilt as you come all the way back down. Nice. 2 more. And if you're kind of going through these and you haven't done much of this work in terms of tilting the pelvis before, I'd recommend trying to repeat. I mean, do this one, of course, but repeating that previous drill where you're just trying to focus on just that tilt of the pelvis. All right, that's 3. All right, so our next one here, what we're going to be working on is some rotation. I have to check my notes there. We're going to be working on spinal rotation. So we're going to be doing it from back to our tabletop, our quadrupedal position, and we're going to come into a fully flexed position. So I'll just show you this first one, and then we'll all do it together. So the really important thing for this one is to maintain a fully flexed spine the entire time, or as best as you can. So what that means is we're rounding the spine and we're tucking the tail under. And you can see the roundness here in my spine. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my left hand. You can bring it to your chest, you can bring it to your shoulder, wherever you want, really, just so it's out of the way, because we're going to be twisting towards that side. So now the arm that is lifted up, take a breath in, maintain that flexion throughout your body, that roundness throughout your spine. And then from the spine, from all this side oblique stuff as well, start to rotate to the left. Get as much rotation as you can, fight for a little bit more, and then you come back down. So we'll repeat that, we'll do 5 on each side, okay? So come to this tabletop position, and these should be pretty hard rounds, so you really want to be working as much rotation as you can. You should kind of almost feel like a core exercise here. Around the spine, you can press that right hand down into the ground, bring the left hand to the opposite shoulder or chest, whatever is more comfortable for you. And from there, maintain that roundness, tucking your chin to your chest. Start to rotate, twist to the left. and come back down. The whole time you're fighting for as much rotation as you can. Continue, rotate to the left and back down. 3 more. Two more. Last one. All right. We'll switch sides. Same thing. So into that roundness, that flexed spine. Bring the right hand now to the opposite shoulder or wherever it's comfortable for you. Tuck your chin to your chest. Maintain that roundness. And take a breath in, tension throughout the body. And rotate to the right. And back down. Rotate. Back down. 3 more. Rotate. Back down. 2 more. Rotate. Back down. Maintain that flexed spine. Make this the best one so far. Rotate. And back down. All right, good work. Grab yourself a drink if you need to. From here, we're going to work on some PAILs and rails from a butterfly position. So we're working on abduction for the hips. So come into a butterfly position. For some of you, this is not comfortable for you. For many people, that's totally normal. You can sit on blocks. You can have your back resting up against the wall if you like as well. So come into your best butterfly position here. Then from there, with the knees, without using the hands, drive the knees down towards the ground as far as you can. And then either bring your hands, your forearms, your elbows to the inside of the knees, and then use those, whatever part of your limb there you're using, press those knees down a little bit further. So now firstly we found our active range of motion, and now we've pushed ourselves further into a little bit of passive range of motion. We're going to hold here and breathe just for about a minute or so. And then what we're going to do, we're going to do PAILs and rails from here. So while we're hanging out breathing here, I'll just go over those instructions. So for PAILs, what we'll do, the arms are a strong block. They're not going to let the legs move at all. But on your PAILs contraction, you're going to be trying to doing this with the legs. You're going to try and close the legs up, with the arms are not going to let those legs move at all. And then when I say rails, you remove the hands. I like to just bring the hands out in front, squeeze them together for a bit more tension. And then you're trying to drive the knees further down towards the ground on their own. So while we're hanging out here, nice, slow, controlled breath. Aiming for about 4 seconds in, 8 seconds out. And we're just holding here in our passive stretch. See how we go. We'll probably do 2 rounds, I'd say. If you want to add in a third, you feel free. For time's sake, I'm just going to do 2 rounds today. All right. We'll get ready for round 1. So we're PAILs, so we're trying to close the knees in towards each other, the arms are blocking. And then rails, we bring our hands out in front or wherever you like, really, and then drive the knees down towards the ground. Throughout this action, we want to create some irradiation, some tension throughout the body. So we're squeezing glutes, we're squeezing hands, squeezing chest, back, shoulders, everything in the whole system. So from where you are, take a breath in, pack that air down in your low belly, tension throughout the body, and about 20%, PAILs, start to try to close those knees towards each other. Building up 40% intensity. 60. And get harder now. 80. Your max, safest, greatest effort, and hold 10 seconds. Keep squeezing in, keep squeezing the rest of the body. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rails, try to drive the knees down towards the ground. Safest, greatest effort straight away. Driving down. With your max effort. Don't go into any painful ranges, but really work hard here. Let's go 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the elbows back on, keep driving down, bring those hands back on and slowly relax. You may find through that isometric contraction, you might have gotten a little bit more range, maybe, maybe not. We'll do one more round, but for now, get back to nice, slow, controlled breath. 4 in, and 8 out. We'll hang out here about another 15 seconds. We'll do one more round. All right. Ready? Take a breath in, tension throughout the body, and PAILs. Slowly begin to close those knees in towards each other, about 20%. Ramping up, 40% intensity. 60%. Tension throughout the whole body, 80%. And then staying there, or your safest, greatest effort. Squeezing in. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rails, drive the knees away from each other. Hands can come out in front, or whatever's comfortable for you. Max effort straight away. Really try to drive those knees down. If you can feel it, you can also try to externally rotate the hips at the same time. Last round, 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands back on. Slowly relax. Let's pause here. Take 3 longer, deeper breaths. I'm sure you just had to hear my deep breathing just then, so I'll let that chill for now. For you, please, a few deeper breaths, just calm that nervous system down a little here. Nice. Come out of this position, nice, semi-casually. This next one we're going to do is some wide-legged, some flexion lift-offs from a wide-legged position, and we need a block, which I did not grab. Quickly grab that now. So if you don't have a block, you can use books, you can use a drink bottle, you can use anything really, but the block's good because it has, obviously you can use it on different heights depending on how much experience you have in these positions. So we're going to come into a wide-legged position. And we're going to take one of those blocks, we're going to take it to the inside. Let's start with the right leg, we'll take it to the inside of the right leg. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn my torso towards that right leg and plant my hands down either side of that leg. So now, in terms of a few actions that we want here, so what we don't want you to do, or what I don't want you to do, is when you lift up, is you have to lean back to lift up each time. You want to find a position, so the closer you lean forward towards the foot, the harder it is. The taller up, the higher up you are, the easier it is. So you want to find a position where it's really, really challenging for you. I mean, we're here to work, we're not here to just get through this. So you find a position that's really challenging for you, and that you don't have to compensate by leaning back. There's no point in cheating yourself. You just have to work with the body that you have right now. Okay? So find your position. So I'm just going to give a test here. That feels pretty good. And what I mean by pretty good, it's pretty hard. Okay, so the hands are a nice strong base. My chest is trying to face towards this right thigh. And from there, we'll aim for 12 reps. That might be a little ambitious, but we'll see how we go. Take a breath in, create some tension throughout the body, and then lift up, down, up, and over. That's 1, 2. So I'm a little bit too low there. That was too hard for me. So I'm already tired. So continuing. 3, 4. Here comes the cramp. 5. 6. 7. Almost there. It's 10. Stick with me. 11. All right, that was 12. I think towards the end, my reps got a little bit sloppy there. I was probably leaning back a little bit. So do as I say, not as I do, right? So we'll come over to the other leg and we'll find that position. You'll have to test this one out. Of course, every hip is going to be, your hip from one side to the other is going to be different. So you test it out in terms of leaning forward, leaning back, whatever you need to do so that you can make a strong effort here without trying to compensate too much. Okay? Let's get ready. And if there's cramps come on, sorry, you just got to try and push through them. Not much we can do here. Mine cramp pretty much every time I do these. All right, take a breath in. Again, irradiate tension throughout the body. Lift up and down. Up. And continuing. You can go with my rhythm here, or you can go with your own. But nice and controlled. And trying not to lean back every time you lift off. I have no idea what I'm up to here. I'm going to say that's 8, 9. That's 11. One more. All right. And so with that one, I know you probably weren't watching me during that. You probably focused on yourself. But with that one, I sort of started, in terms of my torso, it was sort of about here when I started. And then towards the end of the set, it was more up here, just because I just didn't have the strength anymore. So if you need to lean back a little bit to maintain, the spine nice and straight, you're not trying to move around much, you just lean back a little bit as that hip begins to fatigue. Alrighty, so from here, we're going to close up the class. I'm going to show you a position for spinal segmentation. But this position is not going to work for everybody. Frog base can be a bit much on the hips for some people. So if that's uncomfortable for you, then instead of doing it from the position I'm about to show, just do it from here, from tabletop. Okay? I'm going to grab this second mat. So from here, I'm going to come into a frog base. So the knees go wide. For me, I like the ankles roughly in line with the knees, but of course your hips are not my hips, so you just find a position that works for you, okay? So from here, we're going to start in extension. If you get into a position, it's just too much, doesn't feel good, come out, do it from tabletop position, please. So we start in extension, lifting the bum towards the sky, lifting the neck up, and slowly we tuck the tail, rounding through the low spine, mid-spine, upper spine through to the neck,
Get into a fully flexed, fully rounded position. We start with the tail again, lifting the tail up towards the sky. Slowly rolling through the spine and back into extension. We start with the tail again. The tail, begin to round. So coming back into extension, lifting the tail up. I'll do one more. Tucking the tail under. And one last time, back into extension. Coming out of that position. So that one from the frog base. I mean, it can be tricky depending on how open you are in your hips, but also for the actual movement, the spinal segmentation. If you don't quite have a lot of control yet, and this is quite new to you, I'd probably recommend just starting it out, doing it from tabletop, and then building up to different variations from there. But if that feels good for you, then that's great. So now we'll finish off with some hip cars from this tabletop position. So from here, we'll start with the left hip. So bring that left hip up in towards your chest, take it wide away from you, and then internally rotate as you kick back behind, trying to keep the rest of the body nice and steady. The knees stack, extend back towards the sky, take it wide, externally rotating up in towards the shoulder, and back down. Nice, two more, in towards the chest. Take it wide, internally rotate. As you kick up, knees stack, kick back again, take it wide, externally rotate as you draw it up towards the shoulder, back down. One more, in towards the chest, wide, internally rotate. Knees stack, extend, take it wide, and back down. Nice, we'll switch our sides up, and we're all done. Breath in, radiate tension through the body, and towards the chest, and take it wide, internally rotate, kick up, knee stack, extend, lift up like donkey kick, take it wide, externally rotate up and towards the shoulder, back down. That's one, two more. In towards the chest, so flex, abduct, internally rotate, kick up, knee stack, donkey kick up, take it wide, externally rotate towards the shoulder, back down. One more time. In towards the chest, out wide, internally rotate, kick up, take it wide, externally rotate up and towards the shoulder, and back down. All right, that's our class for today, everybody. Hope you're feeling good. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Thank you.